Today I'm going to talk about how to fill out the W-4 for a college graduate. Congratulations, grad. You did it. Now you have a job. Now you got to pay your taxes. If this is your first time at our channel or you haven't subscribed, click on the subscribe button at the bottom. My name is Travis Sickle, Certified Financial Planner with Sickle Hunter Financial Advisors. If you just graduated, there's a good chance that it's not January 1st. So getting your W-4 correct is a little different for you than everybody else because you're filling it out in the middle of the year. So we want to make sure it is as accurate as possible. Why is this such a great time to make sure that you get it right? Because every dollar that you don't have to pay in taxes, guess what? You get to save it. It's especially important to get the W-4 correct and done right because this is the first time you may have ever had to deal with all the expenses and all the responsibilities. So we want to make sure that we're paying the least in taxes throughout the course of the year to make it a little easier on the rest of your financial life. So here we go. I'm going to make this super simple. I'm going to put the link in the description. It is going through the IRS W-4 app that's on the IRS website. So I'm going to pull it up on the screen. We're going to go through it together. This will be done as a single filer. So if you are a married graduate, this is not the video for you. But if you are single and you're filling out the W-4, just graduated, here we go. So here we go. So if we're looking at this, we're going to click on single, check that off, and no one else can claim you as a dependent. So we're going to say no, you're on your own now. Click continue. All right. We're going to start out with one job. If you have more than one job, adjust it right there at the top. We're going to start with one job. This is one job out of college. You have your one job right there. Now, you're probably not eligible for a retirement plan at this point, so we're going to hold off on that. But if you are, make sure that you're putting that in there. But again, we're going to save that for another video. We're just filling out the W-4, make it as easy as possible. So we're just going to go ahead and scroll all the way to the bottom and click continue. Now, here's where it gets a little different, maybe a little tricky. We'll do a little simple math here. You have to look at this top line, and that's how much you're earning. Now, let's say that you're coming out of college and you're earning $35,000 or $40,000, but it is in the middle of the year. You don't want to put $40,000 or $50,000 or $60,000, whatever you're making. You don't want to put that there. Why? Because you're not going to make that this year. You're only going to make 6 months worth because it's the middle of the year. Now, if you're getting a job in the December graduating class and starting in January, February, it's a little different. Probably going to put the full amount in there. But since we're halfway through the year, we need to make that adjustment. It's simple. If it's halfway through the year, take half, right? So if you're making 30, or let's make the math easier. Let's say you're making $40,000. That's $20,000 from now until December 31st. So we're going to go ahead and put that in there. So let's say that we put in $20,000. Sure, got enough zeros in there. And you don't expect any bonuses. If you do, put it in there, but chances are you probably won't have any. And enter the total federal income taxes withheld so far. Now, you just started the job, so we're going to put 0 and put 0. So really, we just passed what's going to be the biggest difference, and that is making the adjustment of how much you're earning for the rest of this year or whatever year you're currently in. You can put in the pay frequency, and we're going to put in twice a month. Most are going to be in twice a month. Now, this is just going to help you make the adjustment because it's assuming that you're making $20,000, but what the calculator doesn't know just yet is over what time frame. And that's going to matter because if we chose January 1st, the program or this calculator would assume that we made $10,000 already in the first half of the year, and then we're going to make the second half in the second half of the year. So therefore, it's going to adjust our withholdings, and they're not going to be right if this isn't correct. So we'll put halfway through the year. So let's put June 1st to December 31st. Now again, pick whatever date is closest to the date that you're starting work, and this will help do the math for you. So even if we pick the end and pick July 1st to get through the second half of the year, we can click continue here. Now your standard deduction is $12,000 as filing as an individual. There's a good chance that you probably don't have a whole lot of write-offs. And if they don't equal or they're not greater than $12,000, then your standard deductions just won't count. So you're just going to take the standard deduction, not the itemized deduction. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that and click continue. And here you are. So right at the top, your anticipated income tax for 2018 is $803. That's it. So you need to put 3 allowances. You can see that right there for the only job you entered, which is a projected salary of $20,000. That's 3 allowances. So where does 3 allowances go? It's going to go on the paper version on line 5. That is what you're going to hand to the employer. Okay. So if you don't have it, I'm going to put the link at the bottom. Print out the paper version. Okay. You only need that first page, but the paper version, line 5, put that number in there, 3 allowances, sign it, give it to your employer. That's all you need to do. That's it. Now you can keep the other information. You can print this screenshot out if you want to have it for your record so you can remember how you got there. If something goes awry or if something changes, you want to look at it. But that is what you want to put there. Now let's just say that you started a different part of the year, but you still were going to earn the same amount. And you saw that 3 allowances. Let's go back really quickly and change this date from July 1st to, let's make it January 1st. So that's full 12 months. Click continue and click continue again. And you can see up at the very top, your tax liability is exactly the same. It is going to be $803. But what you can see here is enter 0 on line 5. So we have enter 0 on line 5. So we're going to have to adjust these withholdings quite a bit. So you can see right here, it says enter 0 on line 5. So we're not only going to have to withhold the maximum amount as far as that's concerned, it's having us withhold an additional amount. So you're going to have to withhold additional dollars. So the calculator knows at this point, doing this calculator right here, it knows the date today, and it knows that you selected January 1st of this year. So it's assuming that time has already passed and we haven't withheld anything, because remember over here with these zeros right below right here, these zeros that we put in there, those zeros means we didn't withhold anything so far. So we kind of have to play catch up is the way you should think about it. If you're looking at the paper version and it's going through how to withhold based on criteria, this is way more accurate because you want to make sure that you're accounting for how much you've withheld and how much you need to withhold moving forward. So the 3 big ones are usually filing status, how many dependents you have, and how many jobs you have, and of course your income. But what's really important and what's different in this situation, as a college graduate, there's a good chance that you're starting in partway through the year. So you want to make sure that you adjust for it and don't accidentally put your full annualized salary on the W-4 if you're not starting in the middle of if you're not starting halfway through the year. If it is January 1st, go ahead and put the full amount and you'll get the same answer, and it'll just adjust how much you should withhold from each paycheck. So don't get too wrapped up on the W-4 worksheet, the paper version, how it's going through each line item and how you should calculate those allowances. It's going to be a little different than the online version, and the online version is way more accurate. So I hope this helped. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and leave your comments down at the bottom.